Hello, survivors. This is your girl, Abby Ayola Williams, and you're now listening to How to Survive Society. How to Survive Society is a weekly podcast that features survivors. These are people that have been through the ringers in life. They've been through hell and back, but they choose to stay positive. They choose to win. They choose to thrive, and they choose to survive. So let's get right into it. Hello, survivors. This is Abby Ayola Williams, and I'm here with Nimi Adokiye. She's an actress, she's a new mom, and she's from California, the Sunshine State.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah, so I wanted to have you on today because I've heard your story and it's very, very compelling. And I feel like your story is like people need to know more about your story because it's something that somebody can learn from. So my first question to you is, how is it being a first-time mother? Like, how is that for you?
For me, it's just been amazing. I love it. Every time I go somewhere, if I have an audition or something, I miss him so much. I'm driving in traffic to run home to go see him and be with him. So it's just a beautiful, overwhelming feeling. I love it. I have I'm supposed to be learning sleep training right now, but I just love him staying in my bed with me and cuddling and waking up to cuddles with him. So it's an exciting time in my life right now. So I love it.
That's good. That's good. I'm happy to hear that because motherhood is not an easy fit. You know,
it's not. That's true.
Often, but as long as you have the right mindset, of course, you can always get through whatever. Even though you don't sleep for 2 years, I've always told people that once you have a child, you can forget about sleep for the next 2 years, and that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, it's not about you anymore. It's about the kid. It's about the baby.
Exactly. You also have to take care of yourself too, because if you're not happy, then nobody else can be happy.
Exactly.
So it goes both ways. You have to both take care of yourself and your baby and your husband if you have one.
Yep.
And so I just want to ask you, like, you're from Nigeria, from River. You said you're Calabar, I believe, right?
I'm Calabari.
Calabari.
Gotta say the R-I in there. Because I was saying Calabar, and then I was like, nope, it's Calabari. So I'm from River State, yes.
Okay. Forgive us. So I would say coming from that tribe, especially the fact that not a lot of people know about that tribe, just saying, especially from like Nigeria, the three ones that people know about is like the Hausa, Igbos, and Yorubas. So does it feel being from like one of the ones that people don't really know about? In the mainstream. I'm talking
it's in a way, I just feel like in a way it's kind of cool. It's like you're like almost a new kid in school or something. Every time you're around everyone that that everybody knows their tribe and stuff like that. It's a very popular tribe. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, like you said. And being Calabar, I haven't met any other Calabar except my cousin. And actually one more girl, like a long time ago, and I live in California, so in LA, she used to do my hair, and she had the same name as me and the same tribe. And I was like, what? Yeah, it was so rare. So yeah, it's not, the tribe isn't common. It's just, I think it's super cool. It's like no one knows about you. People know about Kalabari women and men, but like they don't not know enough. Like they don't know how's life, living, growing up, all that stuff. Because every tribe is different.
That's true. That's true. There's a difference in every tribe. So thinking about growing up and all that good stuff. So how was it growing up in America, being a Nigerian girl?
I would consider myself very Americanized because I said in a sense of like my mother was the one that, you know, raised me, because my father died when I was 12. And so my mother raised me, and being sheltered the way I am, I used to think that everybody, every African woman, every Nigerian woman was like my mother. And obviously that's not the case, but that's just how my mind was playing with me when I was growing up. Because I have to now admit that my mother, I guess, abused me growing up, but I just never took it that way until I started telling like my husband the story, or some of my close friends the story, and they would say, no, that is not how that's not okay, you know. So the story is my dad died when I was 12. He had just came from the hospital, and I honestly didn't know what he had. None of my siblings knew what he had, but he just came home from the hospital one day, and my brother told my dad that I stole like little coins, like dollar bills, from his room. He was like 16 or something. I was 12, and I had taken his money, and he told my dad. My dad chased me around the house with a belt. That's a very thing that we get spanked with, a belt. And he caught me, and he told me to put my hands up at the wall, which is like a Nigerian punishment that they do, is raise your hands up, don't put your head down regardless how tired it is, keep it up or you get spanked. And so my dad did that, and so then he said, oh, Nimi, go into your room. And I turned to him, and I could see that he was fidgeting. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay here. I put my hands down, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna watch you, because you don't seem like right, something's off. And so I watched him for some time, and then suddenly he slid down from the couch. This is her living room. Slid down from the couch and collapsed on the floor. I rushed over to him and asked him, what's going on? What's wrong? Are you okay? He didn't respond. His eyes was closed. He was just silent, nothing, no breathing, nothing. Called my brother.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really scary. So he called my brothers. My brothers came down. They went to go call the ambulance. We all went huddled over him, got a basin, put a towel in it, wrinkled it down, wiped him down, put Gaia oil on him, prayed for him, and then we waited for the ambulance to come, and then they came and took him, and they left. And then I guess my mom had heard the news, because when she came home, she yelled for me to come down. I came down, and she said, because of you, your father died. Because of your stealing, your father is dead. It is your fault. It is your fault. And to this day, my mom still blames you for that. Even though I know
my
it's my fault. But to this day, her and I don't have a good relationship, because she just the way, I don't know what she wanted out of me, from me, or whatever, but like, out of all my siblings, I'm the only one in the home that has left the home and has left to make a life for myself. And apparently she's not happy about that. I don't know.
That is insane to even think about it, because wow. As a child, for your mother to be blaming you for your dad's death, that's really, really something. Like, it can play on your mind, and you can think that, oh my gosh, it's my fault that my dad died. And then that's just not good in so many levels. Like, I can relate to you on that level, because I am, or I was, the black sheep of my family. I don't know if I'm still considered that, because I'm grown now. But growing up, when I was younger, I used to like going out with my friends. I barely stayed home. I just didn't like staying home. I liked going out. It wasn't that I was doing anything bad. Like, I wasn't drinking like that or doing drugs, or, I just liked going out. But because, the typical Nigerian parents and family, they didn't like that. So I was considered the black sheep of the family. So one day, my dad had a stroke. This was like 15, 16 years ago, I believe. He had a stroke. And then I got a call from my family saying, oh, your dad is in the hospital, just had a stroke. And they were trying to blame that on me. Like, oh, it's because you've been giving him so much problems. so much headache. That's why he had the stroke. Thank God my dad
Crazy.
made it through that time, because I know if he didn't, I would have been the one to blame, because they would have been saying it's because of my problems that he died, and because he was worrying about me, and because I was giving too much stress, that's why he died. That's what they would have, that was the narrative that would have been given to people. But thank God that he's still alive today and he made it through that stroke. So I can understand what you're saying, because it's kind of weird to be blaming a child for an adult's health issues, because for all we know, it could have been because he had diabetes or high blood pressure or something, because most Black men, especially Nigerians, they don't like to get checked every year. Like getting your checkup every year is very, very important. But
Yeah.
most people don't like to do that. So, and then all of a sudden something will happen and they would like to blame it on, like, oh, it's someone doing juju on me, or, oh,
Right.
that.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's like, no, can we just get our family history, please, and figure out what's going on?
Exactly. So I can understand that. And so you say that you don't talk to your mom to this day? Is that
No,
what?
I made the decision, as they say, to disown her. To disown her because I can't deal with all that. Like, she
That's hilarious. It's usually the other way around, where a parent disowns the child, but you decide to disown your mother.
right, I have to use her own words against her.
Oh my goodness. I guess for your sanity and for your mental health, you had to do that. Which,
Yeah, I had to, because like my so my dad lives in Nigeria. Well, he visits Nigeria a lot and everything. And
Nimi?
hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. You went off for a bit.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I don't know how. Okay, hello. Can you hear me still? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so my dad goes to Nigeria a lot, and he goes and like he stays there, has all these businesses he's doing. But in my mind, I'm just like, dang, he's always out there so much. And I'm just like, oh well, yeah. I mean, my mom's like weird, crazy, so like he needs a break. My guess, like he needs to step away, because like even like he he's the one that told me that like he's just he gets the heat still from going to my wedding. Even my aunts have told me that they still get the heat from my mom for going to my wedding, and she never went. And it's like,
when you say your dad, you mean your stepdad?
My stepdad, yeah. Yes. My stepdad, yeah, it's my stepdad.
Okay.
So he gets the heat, she still gets the heat, and it's just so sad. And it's like, why are you mad that people went to the wedding that you should have been there for? And you never went to
your daughter.
Yeah, my mom never went to my wedding. Never went to my wedding. I have a son now. She's never even said, oh, congrats to the son that's been born. He's 4 months now. So it's like, what is your deal? Like, how do you, like, I have a kid now, and I'm just like, how do you just stop talking to your child? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, just to imagine that. You don't talk to your child. You don't say congratulations. You don't go to their most important things in their life. You don't do any of that. For what? What's the point? My mom just has like a lot of issues that she needs to deal with. And I've always said that. And like, even when like my husband, Danny, he's met my mom, and he's just like, she's never given him a handshake. She's never given him a hug, no nothing. And I just think because he's white, that's why,
Yeah.
Like, how do you wait? He's been married to me for how long now? 6 months, 6 years. And you're not giving him a hug, a handshake, nothing. Like, she just has a lot of like just issues. Her and I just don't get along. I stopped talking to her. I made that cutoff last month of December. I cut her off. I said, I'm not dealing with this anymore. I don't want my baby to like pick up this bad energy that she like shoots out.
Exactly. Wow. And are any one of your siblings married? Are you the only one that's married, or you're the only, are there other ones married also? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I was asking, are you the only one that's married, or there's other people that are married in your family, like sibling wise?
I have 3 siblings, 2 older brothers and 1 younger sister. I'm the only one married. The only one. They're not married at all. They're still getting it together, doing their life and stuff. I'm the only one married.
So are you the oldest, or you're one of the youngest? Or like, how does that work?
I'm like the middle child. 2 older brothers and 1 younger sister. So I'm the middle child. I am the oldest in the girls and the middle child. I have 2 older brothers. So middle baby here.
That's really good. You're an actress, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, so how is that going for you? Like, how has it been a Nigerian American in the Hollywood scene? Like, how do you find it? Are there any challenges, rewards? Like, how's that going?
Well, the thing about this industry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The thing about this industry is that it's so funny. I was watching a back in the day movie. It was so funny. It was doing a stereotypical African Americans or Black Americans here in Hollywood, how we get typecast and stuff. And I was laughing hard at it because it's like the accuracy is so true. Like when I first came to California and I started getting my foot wet in the business, I would always get roles as a prostitute. Like, I'm just like, seriously? Do I just spew out prostitution to you? I mean, well, okay, let me hit the corner real quick if this is the case, you know? So like, I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, I got that, and I was trying to break out of that for a while, and eventually, as the years went by, I started breaking away from that because I started like taking my own pictures. The thing about Hollywood is that like you got to learn to do your own thing. You know, sometimes it's like when you depend on someone to do things, like it doesn't come out the way you wanted to do it, or it's either too expensive or whatever. So I started doing my own headshots, and I started putting my pictures out there, showing that I can be more than just a prostitute, show them that I can play a mom. Sometimes that didn't work out because they're like, oh, you too young to be a mom. So I was like, okay, let me playing a nurse. So I did that, and I'm too young to play a doctor, so I didn't believe in that either. I was like, dang, can we play imagination real quick, please? You know. So like that was one of the challenges. And another challenge is that being a dark skin has its challenges because I noticed that every time I go out for certain auditions, one, I'm like, okay, only call me in if you really see me for this role. That's what I put after every, you know, casting director or producer or director. Like, if you really see me for this role, really call me in, you know. I have a lot of casting directors that I auditioned for, and they really see me for that role, you know, and they believe in me, and I always appreciate them. But then there's others that just call you in because it's a numbers game, you know. So
I can relate to that.
Right, it's like, oh, I drove 2 hours to come to this 1 second audition.
Yeah, one time, because I do commercials sometimes, right? So one time my agent she sent me in, and they were looking for a red hair, freckles person. And I'm like, why would you send me to an audition where they're looking for a red hair person with freckles? Like, clearly you can see that I am Black. Like, I am Black. I don't fit that description. So why would you send me on something like that? Like, I was so mad. So mad. So I understand what you're saying.
It's just so funny. I'm like, first of all, I am not a redhead, and I don't have freckles. Now, so if you want me to do redhead, I would go buy a nice redhead wig and use a mascara and put dots on my face and play the role perfectly just for you. That's so funny. But yeah, I mean, that's just one of them. And then like I said, like I every time I go for auditions, either I'm the only Black girl and it's me and a bunch of all white people auditioning, which is fine. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just like, am I really what you want? You know, like this is what it's down for. And sometimes when I do audition and I do I've done like series regular roles, and I'm just like, okay, like this is awesome, this is great, I'm so excited, I got the opportunity to do this is awesome, but then when I go back and I see who they cast for it, it's like either someone that's already established or someone white, and I'm just like, why did you call me in when you know you didn't
already
want
know
me?
who you're gonna use,
who you're gonna pick. Yeah,
right? I know. I don't know why they do that. Like it's a waste of time for most people. And it's just not fair because you don't even have a fighting chance from the beginning at all.
You don't. It's like, if you're gonna really judge me on my acting, judge me on my acting. Don't judge me on my looks only, you know? So exactly. It's a toss in the air type of career, you know, and I always keep praying, like, Lord, open up an opportunity for me. You know, let me stand out again amongst the rest, you know, let me not feel like I have to like do something that's outside my comfort to get this role or whatever the case may be. I've had auditions that I like that. Like I've had this agent that I had a long time ago said that, hey, you know, the producers want you for this project. It's for Comedy Central. I was like, will you be interested? I was like, yeah, I'll be interested. Totally. Like, what do I need? What's the role? What do I need to do? And they're like, oh, well, FYI, it's like, you have to be topless. I'm like, no. What? Yeah. It was a Comedy Central. Topless. I'm like, no. God,
on TV, really? Topless?
Yes.
Bruh.
Gosh.
Like, no.
No,
that
sir.
That will ruin your career before it even starts.
Okay. So, yep, I mean, I've had many of those, man. Many of those. And it's just,
wow. I know exactly what you're saying, because it's, even here, like trying to make it in Toronto, it's like, back in the day, because now I just do my own thing. I just create my own stuff. I do my own thing. But back then, when you're trying to be in music videos and you're trying to make a name for yourself, you have these guys telling you, oh, I can help you. I can make you a star, but I just want you to be my girlfriend, or I just want you to do this for me. And it's like, no. Like, why can't we just do business together? Why do we have to degrade ourselves as women because we want a role or we want to be somebody? Like, that's not cool. Like, like whoever made the rules needs to, like, the whole system needs to be like shaken up, done with, because it's like it's just not, like, base people on their talent and what they can do, not because you want to be their you want them to be your girlfriend, or you want to sleep with them, or, you know, like, it's just stupid. Like, let's just do business. Let's make money. Let's make money together. Like,
exactly. And it's like,
forget all the other stuff, man. Like, come on.
And it's like, and it's the ones that are like in a so there's like, you know, that there's this meme that's out there that shows like a guy reaching down and trying to help this person, you know, but you don't know what they are going through to get there. Like, and it's like, okay, you are in this established position, and you know you have the power or the connection to help the next person that's, you know, trying to, like, you know, like, and you know your way of doing that is to be like, hey, you know what, you gotta be my girlfriend, or I have to sleep with you for this to happen. I'm like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to, why can't you just see opportunity to make money, you know, make a project or whatever and go with that? Why do you feel like you have to just try to like sleep with someone to do that? It's
exactly.
a mess. It's a whole mess. And I guess that's probably why that Me Too thing came out. Even though, Me Too, in my opinion, has been happening since the beginning of the way this industry has started. People just kept their mouths shut about it. But I'm glad that Me Too came out, and it's finding all these people and cutting them out. Like, hey, stop! It's not okay.
Yes.
Women empowerment. Let's go.
Right? Let's do it. Like us women, like there's so many things that we can do if like guys would just get out of our way, like just let us be what we want, and not what we want, but what we can be. Like a guy can be there to support you and guide you, and just let us be, and so you can see how we can be leaders and do things. And so many things can be, most of the wrongs in the world can be made right if we have more women in power. Like that's just the reality of it. Like look at what's going on in Ukraine now, in Russia, or whatever. Like it's just guys looking for wars, doing things that don't make sense. It's like just get yourself a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, chill and just
be married.
Like we ain't gotta go through all this war and ego stuff, like
the thing is, it's just always guys, and it's just humanity in general. Humans, like, it's just an ego thing people carry. People don't. Some people, especially the people that have walked through trials and finally made it to the peak of their careers or peak of their lives, they forget about the trials they went through, and they become this egotistic, godlike being. They're like the biggest thing on planet Earth, and like it's just how God. It's sad. It's sad to see that. It's like that's why for me, I'm the person I feel like I would never forget where I came from. Never, because I'm always waking up every day with gratitude. Always waking up with gratitude. I know how far I've came. I know what I've been through. When I came to California, I was homeless. I didn't have a place. When I got a place, it was a blessing from God. Like the way I came out here it's crazy. I came out here on faith. I came to California to Los Angeles on faith, and I was supposed to meet up with some person that I met online, and he never showed up. My phone battery was dying. This random stranger decided to give me his phone to try to call the person again. He never answered, and out of nowhere, the guy was like, "Hey, here's my address. You can stay there with me. You can stay with my Nana. You can stay with this other guy that stays there." And he gave me his address. He said, "Here, you know what? You can go in the taxi. I'll go ahead and walk." And two random strangers just gave me $40 for the taxi. I took the taxi while the guy walked, and I finally got to his house. And he said, I let you go in the taxi by yourself because I wanted you to be comfortable. I didn't want you to feel spooked out or anything. The reason why eventually was that when I stayed there with them, with them for 4 weeks, and they were all nice. His wife was Filipino, he was white, and his roommate was like Mexican or something. And like the reason why I wanted you to stay at my home is because you reminded me of my daughter at your age. You remind me of my daughter, and she got picked up from like, I guess, a Mexican cartel or something like that, and taken and into sex trafficking and everything. And so he told me that, and I was like shocked. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you." And he's like, "No, it's okay. I'm still praying for her and stuff." And his roommate there, he's the one that told me about a church called Angeles Temple, and that's in downtown LA, and that's been my favorite church ever since. I always went there. I went there all the time. And ironically, my husband he wasn't my husband at the time, but my husband now, he used to go there, and he would go on certain days, on Thursday or something, and I would go on Sunday. So we would always miss each other. We would always miss each other. We didn't even know we were going to the same church until we started dating, and I met him online too and stuff. But crazy. It's crazy how the world is, and how like you just cannot forget your beginnings. You just can't.
Yes.
Like Viola Davis' story when she was with Oprah for her Netflix show with Oprah, and talking about how she grew up really, really poorer than Oprah herself, like, and how she's made it now, and how she had to go through so many trials, and you could tell she's still humbling. Even I met her. She's the most humbling person ever. She's so sweet. Love her. And there's just all these people that haven't even hit their peak yet, and they're acting like they're the best thing on like sliced bread or something, It's crazy.
I know. It's always important to know where you came from,
Mm-hmm.
who you are, and be humble, because you like it's so funny you said that, because in church on Sunday, pastor said something about sometimes God puts you through rejection so you can be humble. Because if you've never been rejected in your life, and life is so easy, you're just going through life breezy and stuff, and then if one thing happens to you that's bad, some people don't know how to take that. So sometimes they end their lives, or they end up doing drugs, abusing alcohol, like stuff like that. But if you've been through rejection a few times, you know how to cope, and how to like make yourself even better from that rejection.
Right.
So that was his point. It was like, sometimes you go through rejection so you can be humble, and you can be appreciative of things when it comes, so you don't feel entitled, and you don't feel like you're the biggest thing since sliced bread, so
Yep.
yeah.
Man,
So
it's just, if I could tell you how much rejection I've had, man, let me tell you, from high school all the way up to auditioning, it's been there. Trust me. My spirit is very humble, especially in this career. Like you're like, rejection is like true at its nature here. Like every audition, I've auditioned so much audition, so much project, so much. And I always ask my agents and managers, can you tell me why I say no? Can you have them tell me why? And then they tell me, no, she did a good job. It's just that the producers don't want her. That's just what it is. They don't want her. They don't, maybe it's her look, maybe it's the way she's talked, maybe it's her height. We don't know. It's just, and you can't take it personal, So, and I try not to. It's tough not to, but
I know. It's really, but you just have to remember that whatever is meant for you will be for you. As long as you don't give up and you keep at it, something will give. Like, you will definitely make a breakthrough. The key is do not give up. That's the key. That's the key. Just don't give up.
I've been doing this career for so long. There is no way of giving up is even an option. Even an option. I've known some people that went to school with me and Stella Adler, and they've given up. They went back home. They threw in a towel. They're done. They're done. Or they had a kid. They have kids, and they said, "Okay, I'm done. That's I did my trial. I'm over. I'm finished." I can't do it because it's like I have no other passion but acting. Like, no.
Exactly. So it's like do or die. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do, no matter what. No matter what, which is amazing. So my last question to you is, what would you tell people out there that are survivors? People that have been through the ringers in life, and they need that little motivational, inspirational something just to get their spirit up, for the listeners, the survivors that are listening. What would you tell them? Like, what advice do you have for them?
Well, my not even advice, my I have to give a clap up to all the survivors out there. Major clap. Like, you did it. You've done it. You've been through the trials. You've been through the airs, and now, like, the light is coming in. It's time to celebrate. It's time to live your life to the best way that you can. You know, like, no more staying in the past. You learned from the past, and now you're moving forward. You know what you can and cannot do. You're good to go. Like, from my past, what I've learned is, like, the way that I was brought up in my home is not the way that I'm gonna do in my home here. You know, you know what to do and what not to do. Like, the way my mom disciplined me is not going to be the same way that I discipline my kids. You know, the lack of love that I experienced in my home growing up is not going to be what is going to be introduced in my home today. I'm going to be showcasing so much love. You know what I mean? So, like, with what you have, whatever you've been through, what you didn't like, throw it away, and what you did like, take it in and into your future. You know, and don't feel like just because you went through what you went through, that's the end all be all, or whatever you're going through currently, that's the end all be all, because it's not. Life is a roller coaster on purpose. It's to be humbled. We're gonna have our high days, our peaks, our moments, but it's not gonna stay there. There's gonna be times where we have to be reminded that we're still human beings, and we're gonna need to be humbled. So things are gonna, fall, and things are gonna happen. Some things are gonna just be out of whack, and that's okay. Through it all, you have to be happy, you have to be grateful, you have to be thankful, and you just keep it moving, and just be ready. Trust God. Most of all things, trust God. Pray to God. Tell Jesus how much you are grateful and you love Him, and you love the life that you're living, and you love where you're at in your career, or whatever it is whatever the circumstances, you're just happy to be where you are, that you're not where you used to be. That's it. Simple.
That is perfect. Thank you so much for that advice. And I hope this will help you as a listener. If you're listening to this, wherever you are, whether you're in your house, driving, in the gym, and you listen to this, I hope this is reaching you in the right way at the right time. And so I would like to say thank you, Nimi, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Society. Yes. So thank you so much. And and I hope you have a great day. And thank you for listening.
Woo! Thanks for having me, Abby. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. It was fun. Good convo. Good talks.
Thank you, survivors, for tuning in into another episode. If you are a survivor, just like our guest members, please do reach out to me on Instagram at Abby Ayola. So that's ABBY AYOOLA. And send me a message, and then we'll take it from there. So thank you so much for listening to another episode, and we'll see you on the next one.